Alright guys, this is our weekly solo player's guide to the Nightfall. If you're new to the channel, we normally do this every single Tuesday. We do it usually with a hunter, but we'll pick whichever strike I feel like doing. This week is Exodus Crash. If you're going for 100,000 points, I would recommend putting this up to, I like to go max and just drop down about 1. You probably do 2, maybe go up a little bit. Just get this to like about 3, maybe 3.5, and then I like to go Arc Singe, Heavyweight. Momentum is really going to help you out with the final boss fight especially. And then you probably go Extinguish. It's not too awful bad. Or if you don't want to do that, you can go Match Game if you're going to rock Borealis or Hard Light. Or you could do something like Iron. As far as setup goes, we're rocking the Ostringer. Mine's got Outlaw, Rampage, and Minor Spec. It's really good. Any kind of hand cannon will do. Like the Duke MK44, that's another good one if you want to use a hand cannon. We're rocking Borealis because it's pretty awesome. But if you don't have this, something like the Tartara Gaze, just something with a little bit of range. And then we're rocking the Wendigo GL3 because it's also really awesome. But again, if you have Prospector, that's also really good. Or something like the 21% Delirium, that's good too. And then we're rocking the Raiden Flux, Arc Staff, hits, buff damage, and duration, so it's going to last longer and you're going to do more damage, which is always good. And then we're just rocking the top tree because the melee kills will give us a little bit of health back. And Arc Bolt Grenades are pretty much better for PvE, in my opinion, but you can rock whatever you want. Alright, so as soon as you spawn in, you have two options. You can either kill everything if you're going for 100,000 points. Obviously, you're probably going to want to do that. Or you can just do what I do and run past as much as possible and just get the little arc beam things. Just be very careful of the fanatics. If they blow up, they'll probably kill you. And then if you're on your Sparrow, also be very careful because they're still pretty weak. I think they need to get a buff as far as damage resistance goes. They're pretty ridiculous in Destiny 2. But yeah, go ahead and just collect all the beams for this first bit and then the second bit as well. And just be very careful with the second one. There are going to be 2 Minotaurs. They're doing void damage. If you're rocking arc damage, you're not going to have too much to worry about, but they do still pack a little bit of a punch. And then we'll go up to the top of this area. Alright, so here I like to just kind of stand back, let them kind of kill each other, just put some damage on them. Be very careful of the Minotaurs, they're going to suck, especially since that one's an elite. But for the most part, you should be able to just stay back and do damage to them. Just like this. And then there are going to be a bunch of shanks, so if you're rocking Arc Singe, you're going to want to stay back a little bit because they are doing arc damage. Most Fallen are, so just be very careful. Minus this mini boss captain. He is doing sword damage, which is nice because it's not going to do anywhere near as much damage as he would have otherwise. But be very careful with these shanks. Use your cover and momentum if you're rocking that wisely. Use it to your advantage and you should be good. I like to just use Borealis on this captain. He goes down like 3 or 4 shots. But if you're rocking something like Thunderlord, 21% delirium, he'll also go down really quick. Alright, so this area is really easy as well. Just kind of stay back, just like everything else, and just kind of take your time plucking away at these guys. They'll go down really quickly, especially if you're rocking something with Rampage on it. I would try to save your super. We're going to use it here in just a second, but you should be okay without your super here. And this next section is going to have a bunch of exploder shanks. Be very careful of them. They're doing arc damage on the ground, and when they explode, they also do arc damage, so kind of keep your distance. I like to just snipe them out. Hack this thing as quickly as possible so you can get this going. And then just kill those. And then just kill these 2 hobgoblins. They're both elite, so be very, not very careful. But just keep in mind, they're going to hit a little bit harder than everything else. And then we're just going to take care of waves of enemies here. For the most part, it's just snipe the exploder shanks, kill everything in the middle, wait for the 2 mini-boss servitors to spawn on one on each side, use your heavy ammo to kill them, and then there's going to be a Minotaur that's elite, as well as a Hydra that's also elite. You want to kill them off as quickly as possible. What I do is just I run around the room and slowly take them out. I think there's actually 2 Minotaurs, not 1 when that Hydra spawns in. So be very careful, and you should be good to go. For the most part, you just want to run around this room if you have momentum. Otherwise, just hide behind rocks and stuff, and then just go back to this little charged area as necessary. It's not too difficult to stay alive here. Alright, so this area, you're not going to be penalized with any kind of death, even if you're rocking Extinguish. And you might not get as lucky as I do. Someone had already been working on the walker when I was coming up to it. But if you do get it, just kind of take your time, power ammo it down if you want to. Save your super though, you're going to want it, or I use it for this next room. That way I can get the wanted enemy out of the way. I don't have to wait around with all these dudes that are doing arc damage. So it's just a lot easier right here. As you can see, Braden Flux is really going in on the boss and the enemies that are kind of running into it. And then we just run. But obviously if you're rocking, going for 100,000 point completion, you're going to want to kill everything. So just kind of take your time, kind of stay back, maybe in that like fire area before you enter this room. And kind of kill everything that way if you want. Otherwise, we're just going to run past as much stuff as we can. We're going to try and get our super back a little bit with some kills. And then otherwise, just go ahead and jump down. You're going to want to kill all the exploder shanks in the room, and then the boss will spawn in. Just hit him with your power weapon until he disappears. And just do it again. I think you can do it one more time. He'll spawn in kind of instantly before you actually have to start killing ads. Once that happens, take out the exploder shanks as quickly as possible because they're going to slow you way down when you run into their little electricity thing that they got under them. And then watch out for any vandals that are sniping. Try and take them out as well. And then just save your power ammo for the boss. Every time he spawns in, hit him like 3 times. You got a grenade launcher. Keep pummeling him with machine gun ammo if you got that, or like 2 rockets probably if you're rocking some kind of rocket launcher that has arc. And yeah, just keep doing that. Just keep running around the room like you see me doing here, and kill vandals. They're going to be really hard if you're rocking arc Singe. Like this room is probably best for void, but overall I think it's easier with arc. This is my opinion though. Unless of course you're running warlock, then go void. Do I think top tree on the subclass, the one with the Nova Bomb that goes slower but explodes in a bunch of mini Nova Bombs. And then run Skuldire, Amkara, or Nezrak Sin helmets. Either one of those would do really well. And then run Hammerhead probably if you have that, or a rocket launcher with cluster grenades, cluster bombs, whatever it's called. And then you should be good. So hopefully this guide helped you out. If it did, hit the like button, hit subscribe to the channel. And as always, stay positive, be happy, be healthy, live long and prosper, and have an awesome week.
Do you feel it? The light is back. We're back. Eyes out, Guardian.